Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to the Boulda Sports Talk. I'm your host, Matthias, and we got a loaded show today. So we're talking the Masters, the NBA regular season, some crazy NFL news, and a hometown Iowa guy going absolutely nuclear in the league. The WNBA news with Kelsey Plum, and college basketball transfer portal chaos, and some MLB early season storylines. So let's get into it.
Ready to rumble!
And you are watching Boulda Sports Talk.
All right, let's go down to the Masters. Rory McIlroy, back to back. That's not normal. That is not normal. That's legendary. He wins the 2026 Masters at under 12, holds off Scotty Scheffler by one stroke, and this wasn't easy either. He had the lead, lost the lead, got it back, almost blew it up again on the 18th again. Like this dude lives for drama. But now he has two straight green jackets, six career majors, Jordan names like Tiger Woods, Jack Nicklaus, and back-to-back history. That's different. And I'm telling you right now, this changes everything. His legacy is completely different. He's not just great anymore. He's just not a golfer anymore. He's one of the best golfers. He has two green jackets. Not a lot of golfers can get even one golfer. He's chasing all-time status right now. Put his damn jersey in his Raptors. Also, shout out to Cameron Young. Couldn't close but stayed in it. He was actually tied with McIlroy on Saturday around under 11. He stayed there for yesterday, but today he went down. He couldn't close, but he stayed in the matchup. And we can talk about Justin Rose. He had the lead, just collapsed late. Just needs to walk in more when he gets to the lead. Then Russell Henley, he just could not finish his putts. It was looking like a swap fest better out there. I never golfed before, but I probably can golf better than him at this point. But the story, Rory, and the real question, can he go for a three next year? Can he be better than what the Chiefs did? The Chiefs kind of sold going for that three-peat. We don't want the Chiefs story to happen again. Now let's switch to the NBA. The final day is today. It's Sunday. Sunday's the final day of the regular season, and there's still a ton of on the line. Let's start in the West. The Los Angeles Lakers versus the Denver Nuggets for the 3 seed. Because the 3 seeds mean you can avoid the certain matchups early. In Denver, they're on an 11-game win streak. So if I'm looking at this right, I think the Denver Nuggets has the game, and they are going to get the 3 seed. Personally, I don't think the Los Angeles Lakers are going to get the 3 seed. They're probably going to be at the 4 seed because of how they are been swapped recently. And I personally don't like that they have Bronny James in the first place. It's for money, media attention, and LeBron's a little too old. He's catching up there to the point where he's going to be playing until he's 60. So that's not just a game. The momentum heading to the playoffs, that's huge, and I think that Denver Nuggets has the chance for the 3 seed. Then you got the Portland Trail Blazers, Los Angeles Clippers fighting for the spot, trying to stay alive. And this is going to be a close matchup because they have good set. I honestly think the Clippers got it, but it might change. They have the 8th spot, but we'll see. Now let's move over to the East side. The East is even messier. You got 4 teams fighting to avoid the play-in. So the Atlanta Hawks, Philadelphia 76ers, Toronto Raptors, and Orlando Magic. They're in survival mode, and there's they're fighting for a spot. Um, and then you got the Charlotte Hornets and the Miami Heat fighting just to host a play-in game, not even make the playoffs, just host. That's how tight the playoffs are in this league. One of my biggest takes right now, the NBA regular season still matters. Many people say it doesn't, but when everything comes down to the last day, that's pretty much pressure. Like I feel like the last month is like the playoffs already. Because some teams are already in the playoffs, some teams are fighting for a spot in the playoffs. So that's one of my biggest kind of takes in this week. Now moving over to AJ Green. This week, AJ Green put up 11 threes in the game for the Milwaukee Bucks. That's a franchise record. AJ Green, graduate from Cedar Falls, Iowa, uh, has his jersey retired for the Tigers and the Northern Iowa Panthers, where he played at college and has won numerous awards over there. His dad actually has signed as the head coach, who recently was the assistant coach for Iowa State, who was two seed in the March Madness. Um, and but AJ Green, he had one of the most moving single game records ever. He moved past Ray Allen and Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard pretty much is on there for no reason, to be honest. I feel like he's just out there. But AJ Green is one of the most underrated basketball players right now. Um, he really showed out. And that's huge for Iowa basketball because Iowa basketball is not one of the biggest basketball states. There's a lot of basketball states out there, and Iowa basketball is not. Yes, Iowa basketball did make the University of Iowa and the Iowa State University did make some big runs in the March Madness. Same as UNI, but they only, they didn't make it past the first round. But Iowa basketball made it past Florida, which is huge. They made it to the Sweet 16, only losing to Illinois, which made it to the Final Four. So Iowa basketball is a growing sport, but I feel like we should give some pointers to AJ Green for showing what Iowa basketball and Northern Iowa can produce. As we move over to the NFL is getting messy this week. First off, the league basically beat the NFLPA in the collusion case. They said, yeah, there might have been some weird stuff going on, but there wasn't a lot of proof. So guys like Lamar Jackson and Kyler Murray, actually Kyler Murray just signed with the Vikings this offseason, which is huge. I'm a Vikings fan, and I like that we signed a QB who has some history in the league. Yes, I'm upset about the Sam Darnold case where we should not cut him. Thank God we, fired our GM, Kwesi. We're still looking for a GM. But I'm glad that we signed a QB like Kyler Murray. Hopefully, we can sign some old line members to be on the team to protect him. But Kyler Murray can be a great mentor for JJ because JJ has been on that off and on injury streak, which doesn't look so well for a rookie QB. And I hate that people are trying to stick up for him, but it really hasn't been helping AJ Green at this point. Or not AJ Green, JJ McCarthy. Then off the field, McQuezzy Bell from the Dallas Cowboys. He was arrested on drug charges. And honestly, what's going down in the South really? Because all these NFL players are just getting arrested left to right. It is outrageous. And for drug charges, like why? You made it to the league. You should not be made into the criminal area. For trade news, we have some big news. So Eagles acquired wide receiver. So Eagles acquired Dontavian Wicks on the Green Bay Packers. He was a standout player, but he didn't play that match. Dexter Lawrence was a request. The New York Giants defensive tackle Dexter Lawrence has requested a trade, leading to speculations that he could be moved to the Houston Texans or Jackson Jaguars. Reports suggest that New England Patriots are potential landing spots for Eagles wide receiver AJ Brown if Philadelphia decides to trade him, potentially involving their 31st overall pick. The Kansas City Chiefs are rumored to be considering a trade up to number 6 spot to select the edge, Reuben Bain Jr. Correct me if I'm wrong with that, but that's a weird, weird name. And a potential deal with the Cleveland Browns. So that's some pretty big news in the NFL era right now. Um, and then with the Atlanta Falcons, they're locking in Bijan Robinson, which is a smart move. This guy's different, and he's a smart running back. So uh, let's go to the WNBA. Kelsey Plum takes less money to go back to the Los Angeles Sparks, who is the WNBA team in LA. She takes a 900,999 deal, $1 short of $1 million. That's not normal in pro sports, but that's pretty high deal for the WNBA because of the move that they made this year. That shows that she is wanting to win with a team, and I respect that, especially with how the girls' sports have been changing throughout the years. Caitlin Clark, which uh, has been great. She has been a great player for the Indianapolis. Then, like another trade that actually happened about 4 hours ago from while I'm filming this, was the Ricky Jackson trade agreed to one with the Sparks and. One of the biggest trades out there was the Angel Reese being traded to um, the Atlanta Dream, which is pretty big. But also, I don't like Angel Reese. I'm an Angel Reese hater. She's down what disrespectful to the team and to the league. She has been drama queen for a team, kind of worse than Caitlin Clark, even though she's gonna whine to the refs like Caitlin Clark does. So let's go to college basketball right now. It's just for your agency, pretty much. The transfer portal is going crazy. You got starters leaving, bench players becoming stars somewhere else. Teams rebuild overnight, and honestly, if you're a mid-major, you got to rebuild every year. So, for example, Northern Iowa, they just lost some few Panthers to Utah State, where their head coach Ben Jacobson got hired during the offseason. I mean, we lost some players to Iowa State, some other teams. So Panthers are rebuilding, and hopefully they can come out and potentially win more games this season. Um, but also at the same time, it gives players more time, and so it's good and bad for these players. I personally don't like the transfer portal because you get to see players leave that you like, and that brings more money to the teams. Then let's move to the MLB. The MLB is just getting started. The opening day was a couple of weeks ago. Some teams are struggling, some teams are great. You can't really tell who's going to make the World Series or the playoffs at this time. So I can't really tell you guys what's going on. Um, Pitchers are ahead of the hitters right now, and we're starting to see who actually is going through it. But this year, the MLB has allowed the ABS system, the automated ball strike system, and actually, a team has one of the most challenges, which you really see. So there's about 2 weeks in, and so about 1% up to 1%. Sorry, guys. Here are top 10 most overturned umps: Chad Woodson, at Andy Fletcher, Chris Siegel, Mike Essenberg. These umps have been overly bad. A lot. There's I forgot his name, but he kind of is like the new Angel Hernandez. So he just makes bad calls. Actually, the Minnesota Twins has the most overturned calls. A few games ago, Ryan Jeffers, the catcher, he got like 5 calls back to back correct. So I think the Twins are kind of putting it to good use because the Twins have been struggling with ownership this year. Um, then let's move to some drama going on in the sports world or big headlines. So we get Tiger Woods mentioned. Anything that I see happens with him is news because he is one of the greatest athletes out there. Even when he's not winning, he's still making moves in the media. And honestly, watching Rory now, it kind of feels like Tiger passing the torch again because Tiger was rolled his truck driving. People say he was on the radio, he was messing with his phone. Some people said he's drunk, but he was arrested for suspicion of DUI, but he was only on painkillers, which is what I heard. Because he blew all zeros on the drug test, drinking test. So Tiger Woods is now getting health help, and I hope he finds a better driver other than his tailor mades. So hopefully he finds a driver because he does have money. So that's gonna be it for today's episode of Boulda Sports Talk. We covered Rory going back to back out of the Masters, NBA playoff chaos, NFL headlines, AJ Green going crazy, the WNBA moves, and college hoops madness. If you're rocking with this episode, stay locked in. We're gonna be in. I'm Matthias, and I'll catch you y'all next time. See ya.